I'm James Henderson, and I'm here with Sean. And we just want to say welcome back and thank you for joining us on today. Our topic today is about minority men's health, particularly for minorities. Well, when it comes, we'll just start with, first things first. Gentlemen, look, go get it checked. Plain and simple.
When you say, hold on, time out. When you say get it checked, get what checked?
Your prostate.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to know that, blood tests and the whole get down, but it has to be done. The older you are, the more susceptible you are to other health issues, that being one of them. And for men in general, since we are the only ones who have a prostate, it has to be checked. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that you cool. Mm-hmm. Your issues come from all kinds of different scenarios. But if you don't know which one is which if you don't get your diabetes checked. You don't know which one is which if you don't get your prostate checked and your blood levels. You don't know what the cause of the reason why you're not functioning properly, because it could be any number of issues, but you have to find out at some point. So fellas, go get checked.
Yes, sir.
Anybody? Sean, what are your thoughts on any of that? Have you been checked yet, sir?
Funniest thing, so when I went to go do that, right, it was a couple years ago now. Actually, I need to go. But it was like, man, we really don't see many people your age coming here and get checked out. And I just was saying, I feel like it was better to be safe than sorry. And, you feel violated. At least I did. They
and you have to pay for the violation.
But I'd rather be that violated instead of, end up with something that you didn't expect. So they stick you, and they do whatever they do back there. But at least in the end, you come up with the information that you need.
Yeah,
I'd rather have that than the information you don't want to hear.
That's right. Yeah. It show up all of a sudden. It manifests itself in some kind of way that you'd be like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But with today's technology, we'll go 50, 60 years ago. When men didn't go to the hospital unless they were feeling sick or was already experiencing some issues, it was pretty much too late.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the pre-screening stuff that you can do. All these different, there's no reason to be 40, 50, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old mm-hmm. and not know your condition, your health condition.
Yeah.
As men, it's always been our thing, man, I'll take care of it later. I got a family to raise. Mm-hmm. I can't afford to do X, Y, and Z and take care of my family, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But what good are you going to be to your family if you laid in a hospital bed?
And you can't take care of them if you're not here.
Right. Absolutely. And, so for those of us who have, I'm just 56, and I'm, I have I want to see my grandkids grow up,
mm-hmm.
And for that to happen, I need to be around.
Yes, sir.
And which requires me to go get checked, because any issue can come up and take me out of here. And these are the kind of things that as men, we need to take that into consideration. And to just be frank, man, you really do, look, cut the crap. Okay? Go get it done. There ain't no excuse for you not to be able to go get it done. I'm being real blunt, and I'm being very serious about it, even though it sounds like I'm jesting. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't make any sense for your family to have to put you in the ground because you too hard-headed. I was getting ready to use another word, but you too hard-headed to go get it done.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want no man touching no. Well, they got women doctors.
I had a woman doctor.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a woman doctor. Just psychologically, I guess.
Right, but the point.
Smaller hands.
They're meat hook for fingers, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, there's no reason whatsoever in 2021 With all the technology that has taken place, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
So your family, in all honesty, something happened to you and you didn't go get checked when you could have.
Yeah.
As a family member, man, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, what you mad about? Why you mad? He just died. Yeah, but he died from something he could have prevented 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of times it's not really discussed. Well, it wasn't discussed in my household. Even though, when I was younger, we went to the doctor and got all the checkups and things like that. But me and my dad never had the conversation of, and maybe just because I was too young at the time, and maybe he was younger too, so he wasn't really thinking about it. But in today's society, I feel like just having information, you have to use the information that's at your fingertips.
That's right.
And to just let something like that take you out, it just is irresponsible when you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're thinking about your family and the future.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like investing in yourself.
The thought comes to mind that if you have a family tree that has cancer,
Mm-hmm.
meaning grandpa
Mm-hmm.
or one of your grandparents, aunties and uncles, all in one family, and everyone has had cancer,
Mm-hmm.
there's a good chance that you might be prone to getting cancer.
Yeah.
So, even for our sisters out here, the ladies in our lives need to get the colon and the breast cancer
Mm-hmm.
and get it checked.
Mm-hmm.
We go into the doctor anyway. For those of us who really try to take care of our health, we go into the doctor anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And just cut the excuses.
Yeah.
Because, that's all it is. And your children and grandchildren going to be looking at you like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What the heck?
Exactly.
But that's pretty much.
They might be saying worse.
Yeah, they might be saying worse. But
Yeah.
why did this happen? And it was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be, look, if you had, number one, drink plenty of water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number two, make sure you eat right. Eat more of your vegetables, this, that, and the other thing. You know what it is. You've heard it all before. I'm preaching to the choir. Okay? Get some exercise.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Part of the reason why a lot of our health issues, both across the board, just people in general, is that we're obese. Why? Because we eat a bunch of stuff that we shouldn't be eating.
Mm-hmm.
If we look, I know we have busy lives, but that's at the same time, you got to slow down and smell the roses. Otherwise, you're going to be pushing them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's unnecessary. A lot of the stuff, the food stuff that is out there for us to eat is cheap, but it ain't good for us.
Yeah.
Okay? And we all want to be, have things that are convenient and at our fingertip. But the truth of the matter is, you do better eating the carrots that came out of the ground in your backyard than you would be trying to eat those mini carrots. Now, I don't know. I've never seen a package of seeds that said mini carrots. you know what I'm saying? But you do better if you got property, or they have the little planters or potters. Just go ahead and start growing your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, especially if you have a little a little backyard, or something on the side of the house. Just go ahead and do like your grandparents used to do, and build the little garden. It's fun. It get the kids, the grandkids out there to do a little exercise, learn a little something. They got to learn its biology in school anyway. You might as well teach them what you know in the garden.
You'll be surprised. Well, at least I was, about the difference between, we went to pick apples, and being from where I'm from, I never went to pick apples. When we went to pick apples, we did strawberries, but just the difference between a fresh apple off a tree and an apple that you get from the store. Like the wax film that's on the apples.
That's right.
You don't even realize it's there. But when I went and got the ones from the apple orchard, it was like, wow, like the difference is crazy. And then also, I think we did peaches, we did strawberries. Strawberries also was totally different, you know, from the store and from the orchard. You know, not that everybody has the opportunity to do it, but if you do, I think it's a good idea to just get out and explore and see the difference for yourself, and maybe it might make a change in the way that you look at food.
That's right.
In general.
That's
You know?
right. Fresh, those apple orchards, they got fresh apple cider.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff that, you know, if you just took the time to take the family up north in North Georgia where they grow apples and stuff, and just take the family and just have a family day.
Yeah, that's what
You
we
know,
do.
leave in the morning and just come back in late in the evening and just enjoy the scenery somewhere else.
Yeah.
The other thing, since you mentioned the apples and stuff, one of the things that we really do have to be, when it comes to eating right, you have to eat. We really do have to eat our fruit and vegetables when it's season for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Apples are not a spring fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they force them to grow. So when they, you know, in hot houses and tomatoes and whatnot, all that stuff to grow at a time of year that is not natural for that particular fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Watermelons, all your melons, that's all spring and summer fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So to get a watermelon in November
Mm-hmm.
and expect it to be sweet
Mm-hmm.
as we know it, you ain't, you know, you really ain't finna get that.
Right.
Because it's out of season.
Mm-hmm.
And you can probably trick it into growing, but you can't trick, you know, nature has a way of making those necessary corrections.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that find out what fruit you should be eating at what time of the year, because that's when it's going to be at its ripest. Well, no, I won't even say ripest, but that's when it's going to be the best, because that's the season for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a reason why, you know, your red fruits and vegetables help your blood, and your green stuff help your system, your digestive system. These are the kind of things that we need to be concerned about. Your green, your orange stuff, you know, you're getting your vitamin C's and D's, and you know, you got to find out and just follow the list. They want you to. Your doctors are going to want you to just eat right and this, but as long as they know you ain't got no self-control, and chili dogs is on the menu for the day.
Yeah.
You know, they okay with, you know, charging you that, you know, a couple extra grand a year for your health because you're willing to trade it off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to eat right, and if that means taking the time to go fishing and catching our own fresh fish as opposed to eating farm raised, you know, farm raised fish, which means that the government has control on what you feed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, chicken, beef, pork, the FDA controls what is supposed to be good for those animals to eat, and you're consuming it. And one of the things that we have to be careful of is that you got estrogen that's being pumped into your chickens, which make them, you know, you know, they're only 3 weeks old, but they're, you know, twice as big as a regular adult chicken that's on the farm, as opposed to a hen house. And then your cattle are getting steroids. Now, the question I have was, if a pregnant woman eats a whole bunch of chicken, estrogen laced, and she has a boy child, does that mean that the boy child could possibly ingesting, that fetus is ingesting a whole lot of estrogen, and is that making the child more feminine's not the word, but I guess for lack of a better word, prone to some of these issues? You know, we as men, we getting man breasts, but is that because of the estrogen? If we eat a lot of chicken, is that why we're getting man breasts? Or can that contribute to it? These are the kind of questions that we need to take into consideration when we are trying to eat right for our health. You know, steroids. Pregnant woman eat a whole lot of beef. She has a girl child. Now, all that steroids, what's that going to do for a girl child? The girl might come out with a with a full-grown beard, simply because all the steroids. But these are the kind of things we have to take into consideration when it comes to our health.
Yes.
Most especially as men, and for our families, because these, at the end of the day, these are the things that are going to help us continue to grow, and then help us continue to do better together. All right. Would you like to say anything else before we step off?
I just would say that it's important to know what you're putting into your body and what the effects are going to be. You know, if you're eating McDonald's and they're, you know, doing things for profit to you know, make sure they get the hamburgers or the, you know, the supplies, you know, you're gonna eventually deal with that one way or another. So I would say it's probably best to do your research and eat the right things. You know, it's gonna help you out.
All right. All right. Well, this has been Push Talk. We thank you for joining us on today.